Welcome, friends, to the Rift Rare Mob Killdex, your complete guide to all the documented rare mobs in Rift. This is your host, Dark Hoses, and let's get started today with the Vengeful Spirit. And this guy, he spawns out of a hidden crypt, which I have added to the macro. You can target this hidden crypt, so no problems there. No problem. You're not going to have any problem finding this. And plus, you have the coordinates right there at your disposal. Once you begin attacking this crypt, what happens is waves of mobs start spawning. And since I'm level 50, they all spawned at the same time. And within those spawns is the Vengeful Spirit. So you're going to get one wave of 3 mobs, and then another wave of 3, and within those, the Vengeful Spirit will be. So it's not going to be any problem for you. And if you are of level, you should be able to handle this. Just be prepared to fight multiple mobs at once, and get a little interesting loot as well. And this guy, he has kind of a low spawn rate. It took a long time to get this guy, and this video is 11 minutes long, and it represents at least 3 weeks worth of camping, you know. But it will not take you 3 weeks to get the achievement. It takes me extra long because I get every single mob, and you do not need every single mob to get your achievement. And next, let's move on to Pandora. And she is kind of iffy-ish spawn. Sometimes she's there all the time, and then other times it seems to take her quite a while, because I do go back and check and just see how their spawns are. And there's one problem with her, and it's kind of a problem with several of these rare mobs. They spawn like right on top of a foothold, or they'll spawn right on top of a rift. They'll spawn right on top of an invasion. So half the time these rares are getting killed by invasions and footholds and etc. Pandora, she wasn't any challenge, you know, not for a level 50, of course. And if you are of level, she's not going to be any challenge for you either. Pandora is located on a small little island within view of Sanctum. So when you port into Sanctum, you can always run by here and give it a little look. It is kind of a swim, but with the targeting macro, you can only have to swim about like halfway before it picks her up. Yeah, that makes things a lot better. And she had a pretty cool little gun. Just like a lot of these rares I was mentioning before, have these items that you don't find on other mobs. And if you do, well, you know, they're not the same name, at least. Here I want to show an undocumented rare. There are undocumented rares that aren't a part of any achievement. They just kind of just are there. And this uncovered grave is another. And I will show the ones that I do come across. I have come across about 2 or 3, and you know, it's strange. It's like the rare collection isn't complete. It's like they started doing something with the rares, and then they got off onto something else. This isn't part of any achievement, and this is just kind of if you're interested in seeing an undocumented rare. There is another one in Silverwood as well by the name of Ugly Horn, and the day I came across him, I didn't have my fraps going or anything like that, so I didn't manage to get him, and I just thought he was just a regular rare at the time. I didn't know that he was special. But yeah, there's the uncovered grave, and you know, it will have like a green item in it. Might be worth your trouble to check by it. And now we have a sneaky little werewolf who's made his way in from Gloamwood. And you see it is nighttime, and I'm not saying that it has to be nighttime for this guy to show up, but it was nighttime, and the times I've seen him, it's been nighttime. So you might keep that in mind. He's right at the entrance to Gloamwood, and he has a pretty regular spawn. And I kind of like this guy because this is the way like rares should be. You know, they kind of tell a little story. And can you imagine, like, you know, if you were in this area as a low leveler, leveling up, and then you see this werewolf running around, and you kill it, and you know, it kind of tells you a little bit about Gloamwood as well. And I don't know, I just think that's kind of cool, you know. And now we have another one just right next to Sanctum. and this guy is one of the dog people, Mog. And I don't know what the heck he's doing so close to Sanctum. I guess he's just scouting things out. And as you can see Sanctum right there. And if you're a Guardian, you can run by this guy every time you go by Sanctum, and we'll most likely see him. He has a pretty good spawn. He spawns quite often. And if you're a Defiant, well, you're going to have to sit over here and camp the little guy. That's just how it goes, Same as us Guardians having to go to Free March. It is a ride, and as I'm doing Free March right now, I'm realizing, man, it's quite a long ride out there from over here, and also having to sit around over there and camp mobs. It's a lot of work. And as I'm going through these rares, I am finding problems. As I mentioned a little bit ago about these rares being right in the path of a rift, or right in the path of an invasion, right in the path of a guard, Like there's one over in Gloamwood that basically patrols right into Gloamwood Pines, and he always gets picked up by a guard. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to get that guy on tape. Yeah, next we have Pentheus, and he's right over by Realm of the Fae. I'm not going to have any trouble finding this guy. Just have your targeting macro going, and you will find him with ease. He does have some ads, and if you are of level, you're going to might bring a health potion or something like that to take him down. And as you see, there's also just tons of ads in this area. Just lots of trash around, as to be expected. This is Rift. Tons of trash everywhere. And our friend Mr. Pentheus, he dropped a pretty neat little hat there. Yeah, not too bad. Kind of a little raccoon hat. I believe I've seen that before, though, from a dungeon. So I'm sure that these models are reused. Just look at all the other models. They are reused and reused. So I imagine that a lot of these, rare models are reused as well. But they do drop some neat things if you're a collector. So let's move on to Broad. I've seen this guy only one time, and it was quite a chore to get this guy on tape, really. And he's really right in the middle of a very high traffic area, and he has a very low spawn. And he's right near where the rifts spawn. He's right in the invasion's path. So he's got a lot of bad things going for him. He might be one that you would camp later on in your life, You're going to get your achievement for Silverwood without having to do all the mobs. As you even see on the alpha server, I had only got a few on the alpha server. And I got my achievement there as well. I believe 6 is all you need. I should really go look at that, I guess, huh? But I know you don't need them all. And like I said, the reason these videos take me 3 weeks to film is because I get every single mob that I can. Every documented mob and a few undocumented. The video for Shimmer Sands, I also have an undocumented mob for it as well. But our buddy Broad here, he's a real easy kill. If you're of level, you'll be able to handle him. And if you're level 50, 2 swings, and he will be history. Now I bring you to the nightmare of Silverwood. This guy, Marlrog, he has an insanely low spawn. He's why this video took 3 weeks. He really is, because I've seen him one time, and this is it, and it was on the alpha server, and I've never seen him on the live server. I was camping the live server, the alpha server, just trying to get this guy on tape. And it was a complete nightmare to try to get this guy. He's right on the path to Sanctum. He's right in the way of a huge questing area for the Guardians. And he also patrols. I also have the correct coordinates there. The coordinates that are going around, that are on the boards, they're not really correct. This guy patrols, and this is the coordinates I found him at. So you keep that in mind. And this has been your Killdex for Silverwood. I am your host, Dark Hostess. The channel name is The Gamer Down. We do a lot of Rift stuff, and we do a lot of other stuff. Going to be having a WoW series coming up here in a while, and we're going to have some more Minecraft stuff coming up. A lot of stuff coming up. So, and lots more Rift stuff as well. Got all the rest of the Killdexes to go. So join me next time. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and thumbs up videos. It helps me out, and I appreciate it. Take care.